This is the Bill Squire Show.
Like, that's kind of a shitty thing to say.
Yeah.
And
Not if you know Riley, though, it's not.
right, but she didn't know Riley, and I find Riley to be a treat.
Yeah, but if I like Riley, but I wouldn't say a treat.
I find her to be a treat.
I would say Riley is.
Everyone in Cleveland
not
Comedy
everyone's
is so nice to me, though. Like they're unbelievably nice to me.
Yeah,
Everybody, like
that's good.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like I'll hear somebody say something
To your
about,
face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they talk shit about me behind my back?
Oh, so much.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mostly about your hygiene
Oh, okay.
and the fact that your dad abandoned you.
Oh, okay.
I met your dad.
I know you did meet my dad.
I met your dad. He was actually didn't abandon you. He told me his side of the story finally.
I've been
Nice.
saying that. I've been literally saying his side of the story.
He's like, oh no, I got a job. I've been down here for a few years. It's not like I left him when he was a kid. And I was like, well, that's not the way AJ tells
Right,
it.
I can't believe you've been saying this
I
this
have
whole
not
time.
been saying any of that. Nobody listens to me on this show. No one listens to me. I've gotten so much pity.
We read between the lines. We're not. We hear what you say, but I listen in between,
look,
and then you can
sides.
tell what you're really trying
Oh,
to say.
so you're making shit up.
If that's what you want to call it.
That's what I'll call it.
I think it's because Mercury's in retrograde. You're being a little
I thought
feisty.
Mercury
Is
was
that
in
what's
fish.
happening right now?
Mercury is in salmon,
That's true.
and it will give you retrograde ejaculation.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to this week's episode of the Bill Squire Show. I'm your host, Bill Squire. I'm here with Tommy LC
Hello.
and AJ DeCosimo.
Hello.
And appreciate
I was trying to
being
feign happy.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, can we do it again? I'm going to try to do a better job. Bill. Can you give it again?
No, we just keep it in.
And AJ DeCosimo.
Hello. Did that
Turns out
work
his dad
better?
didn't abandon him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
According
Thanks.
to AJ, he did, but
I didn't
his dad,
say that.
I believe your dad. I believe your dad.
All right.
So
Seems
that's
like
good.
an honest man.
Yeah, my dad's an upstanding guy.
I did I
He's a delight.
had a good time down there. Raj, I was staying with him. He's gonna be our guest later on the episode. And
I saw Raj this afternoon.
oh, it's good. Are you guys working on the project?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. We'll talk more about that
Yeah, when he gets here.
But yeah, things have been kind of wild in the past couple of weeks. Lots going on. I saw Top Gun Maverick.
Is it awesome?
It was fucking awesome.
Really?
I loved it. I loved it.
I haven't seen the first Top Gun in years.
Yeah,
It's
if
been a
I
long
even
time.
saw
Give
the
it a
whole thing.
rewatch. I watched it a few months ago. It's pretty good. And this new one,
Is it better?
as far as like blockbusters go, like it's what I said, like walking out of that theater, I felt like this is the best non superhero blockbuster
In years.
in 15 years.
What other non-superhero blockbusters have come out? Oh, Godzilla versus Kong.
Better than that.
That was surprising.
That was good, but I like this one way more.
Yeah.
Because this one is so visceral, where like it's not super CGI reliant. It's still pretty character based. I mean, you're getting action, but it's still like kind of implied action because there's, you're getting quick shots of planes going like this and like that,
Yeah.
but they do a good job of making you feel like you're in a dogfight. You're in this
That's cool.
kind of scary situation, and I was digging it.
Does Maverick die?
He dies 8 times. It turns out it's actually not a sequel to Top Gun. It's a sequel to what was that one called? What was that Tom Cruise movie where he keeps coming back to life?
Mission Impossible?
No,
is that Mission Impossible. I don't know.
Tomorrow something. Let me look it up.
Tomorrow Man. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, that's not.
Jack Reacher? No. It's Tomorrow.
Tom Cruise
Man.
dies and comes back.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of
Okay.
Tomorrow.
See, there
Not
was a
Tomorrow
tomorrow.
Man.
Yeah, see, where is that?
Tomorrow Man. He played the Tomorrow
I
Man.
actually
in
just
that.
started reading the Jack Reacher books.
I hear they're fantastic.
So far, so good. I'm like 7 pages in. I
Okay.
read for about 48
about 4
minutes.
months.
Yeah, and I'm killing it.
Well, you
No,
got-
I'm like chapter 4 of the first book, and
He's getting
it's
better
good.
at sounding out.
Guess
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
I'm proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really bothers my girlfriend when she's trying to read her book and I'm trying to read mine. I have to
Out
read out
loud?
loud. Jack.
Jack.
Reacher.
Good job.
Yeah, so yeah, I love Maverick. The Top Gun movie is really, really fun.
Do they leave room for another sequel?
I mean, I don't think you need one.
No, I don't think you do either. But
He didn't really need this one, but it was like
need a
it
lot.
pays tribute to the old movies without like being super heavy-handed about it. And I mean, it definitely draws from
did we get
them.
Kenny Loggins?
Oh yeah,
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
we
Kenny
did.
Loggins.
Yes.
But can we talk about so that song's great. Danger Zone's a great
Yeah.
song.
So good.
It might be the best fighter pilot song of all time.
You're gonna have a hard time getting an argument out of me.
But the score though, like the actual like film score of Top Gun is so good.
Really.
Do you not know it? Do you want me to play
The
a little bit?
the new one?
No, like
Oh.
I mean, they use
I mean,
the
it's
same
been a
one.
long time, so I guess I would. Yeah. Bring it up. Bring it up.
All right.
When they played the song, did you get like the chills? Were you like, oh yeah?
Yeah, like I got like I felt a range of emotion watching this movie. There was some sadness, there's some laughs. They didn't make it too hokey. Definitely like some intense action sequences. It was good. It was very good.
Did the new Matrix come out It came out this winter, right?
Yeah, I came about like January,
Yeah,
and that was a very big letdown.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
That's what I heard too.
I didn't see it.
Me neither.
Nope.
I just saw the
I still
first
haven't
one
seen
like,
Doctor
recently.
Strange yet.
It's
Oh,
so
really?
good. You
Yeah,
need
I
to.
haven't seen it
Ugh.
yet. I just haven't been able to get to the movies.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of stuff I want to see. I want to see Men. You saw
So
Men,
good, dude.
right?
Yeah.
What is that about?
It's this lady that her husband dies.
Okay.
He commits suicide and she goes to like out of town to be in like alone, to deal with it. Right. And everyone around her is very just typical men, like like the boys will be boys kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just about her kind of coming to terms with that. That's
But
really
then also
fucking good.
got some goriness in
Oh
it.
yeah.
Okay.
There was 4 of us that went. 2 of us really liked it. One said it was way too over the top.
Yeah.
And then the last one, she was kind of just in the middle on it. But if you like gore, if you can at least handle it,
I can handle it.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This is like taking me back to like being 15 years old, 14.
Because it's a score, like it's electric guitar score. Like it's very 80s, but
Yeah,
it fucking rocks your cock,
that's awesome.
which is what the
dude.
80s should do. I don't want to play too much of it. We need our $3 from this episode. So yeah, everything's been good. You guys have any crazy wild things happen over because we it's been a couple weeks since we've seen each other.
I've been getting a lot of pity.
Oh,
From
yeah?
last week's episode. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you poor thing." I had that girl's sister reach out to me.
Uh-huh.
You guys saw that. I showed you what she had
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
Well, also the reveal that it was that on the episode that it was a date?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember
yeah, that was on the episode. Yeah.
that it was a date.
that it was a
But
date.
then also like in the text exchange or the message exchange with her sister, she was just like she was pretty perturbed.
But at her, which I'm
Yeah.
just like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there's a lot of things that like were out of my control here.
Yeah.
That were just kind of, ridiculous and absurd.
Did she break up with her boyfriend and start dating you?
No.
That would have been so cool.
Perfect.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think I
true
don't
love.
think I would. I
No?
don't think I would.
That, but
I don't think I
That'd
would
be
date.
really funny though if she broke up with her boyfriend. Like, let's make this happen.
And then I'm like,
you're like,
"Nah,
no,
I'm okay. I'm all
We got a
right.
chance. It's all right. We didn't need it.
I love it.
What's your boyfriend's number? No, I don't want to date anybody right now. I had somebody flirting with me at the show,
High and
High
Dry
and Dry,
last week, yeah.
and I was just kind of like, I'm not into this. And our mutual friend, go ahead,
Why weren't you into it?
because I don't want.
You don't want anything not attracted to her?
No,
She's
she's
very
just
hot.
very
Okay.
hot,
Okay.
very hot. And I think Bill can. Bill saw a little bit of it. Like I just like walked by
Well,
you, and she
here's
started
what happened.
touching my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she came up to me and was like,
It's not okay.
well,
That's weird.
hey, I'm a big fan. This friend of mine got me into your stuff, and I really like it. And then, like, AJ came up, and she's like, oh, your hair's so great. And your hair did... I mean, your hair looks good today, but your hair looked great that day.
Yeah.
And...
She just started like running her fingers through my hair.
So I basically...
I'm like...
And she was
okay.
kind of, like, coming on to me, and I was like, I got a girlfriend, bye-bye.
And then when you left...
Bye-bye.
When you left, and like everyone calls me the second best Bill Squire. Bill Squire light.
But I also wasn't even her first choice because she was going from... I feel like she was just seeking a lot of male attention.
Right.
And she kept getting... I don't want to say pawned off, but like there's just guys that were like...
I'm kind of like, dude,
you
I
just
don't...
weren't feeling it. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
the worst place you could get me is after I do a set. Because I'm just experiencing a range of emotion.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
weird.
I'm a weird guy. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's
like
a good
I mean,
point.
I had a headache that night.
Oh.
I wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home.
Why
I
didn't you
just
go home then?
What? I did. I didn't go. I left shortly after you.
Okay. How long was she slinging it towards you?
About 20 minutes. I sat with her for 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
talked to her for about 20 minutes. And she was like getting close, bro.
Yeah.
Was she
Like,
drunk too?
She was a little tipsy, but she wasn't shit.
She wasn't
Yeah.
shit-faced.
She
No,
wasn't
no.
shit-faced.
She
She was-
had drinks, but she wasn't drunk.
She was
Yeah.
sober enough for me to be like, okay, I'd be comfortable.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about
Yeah.
it. But she was just like nuzzling up, like rubbing her head like on my shoulder.
Aw.
And I'm just like, I'm gonna let you down. Like I'm going to
But maybe that's all she wanted. Maybe she wanted...
and that's
Shut
fine.
down?
Well, because...
Just attention.
She wanted some attention.
Okay.
And I don't think, based on what I know about her, I don't know if she's in a position where she can
Sleep
take
with
it
other
much
people.
further. Yeah, take it much further than a little nuzzle here and there.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
fine by me. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of like, I wasn't gonna sleep with you anyway.
Yeah.
Like she could have been like, come over. I would have been like, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good right now.
I hate going to their place.
I prefer it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can get out
Yeah.
whenever you want. That makes sense. Same.
No, not necessarily. So I can
my
get
place
out.
is comfortable. I like being here.
Yeah, no, this is a nice place.
Yeah, it's a good place.
I like you always bring me here.
Well, I guess it depends. If it's somebody that I don't really know, I want to go there so I can just like
Dip.
Get an
dip.
idea. Yeah.
But if it's somebody that I actually
Comfortable with,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I would rather be at home.
Okay. You said you went and saw Men. Did you see it with your boyfriend and your husband?
Yeah. And my other friend who's kind of seeing my husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
I learned this
I love
downstairs.
this. Yeah, yeah.
Her husband
I know,
has
he's so
another girlfriend.
Oh.
Well, one of
Almost
them, I don't
another
think they're.
girlfriend.
Yeah, they're not like official, but they.
Yeah, don't
they
jump the
fucking
gun.
and
Don't
stuff.
fuck
Yeah.
it up. Don't
Yeah.
jinx it.
Well, no, and then I told her I was just like, wait, he has two
It's so
girlfriends and you only
funny
have one
because we all
boyfriend?
shoot like, and they're both hot as fuck and
Yeah.
very similar. It's just, it's funny, but yeah. You were like, well, you got to get another one.
I was like, you
it's
gotta get
not
another
like
boyfriend.
an
not a
even thing, right?
competition,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's just where my brain
Yeah,
goes.
it's
I'm
like,
just
it's not
oh, you gotta
balanced.
get another one. That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No, yeah, but no, yeah, but
I think what Tommy needs is a girlfriend.
Maybe Tommy needs a girlfriend.
yeah. I like my alone time.
Have you guys
too,
ever,
is
have you
enough.
ever thought about all like doing like a group thing?
No, only
No?
like Miles is
Wouldn't be into
monogamous. Yeah, he's not super into this lifestyle's different for him.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if he was, yeah, well, fuck yeah, we would.
So that he's the holdout.
Yeah, but it's not like a bad thing.
No,
It's
no,
just like
yeah,
I'm not
so-
offended
no,
by
you're
it or anything.
respecting
Yeah,
what
for
he
sure.
wants, yeah.
Yeah, but no, if he was into it, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like fun.
It would be great.
It'd be
I
a
would love it.
fantastic time.
But this it's the second
So-
time we've done movies, like a double date with
Oh,
the movies.
nice.
Yeah,
Well, that's
It's fun every time we do it. I'm like, this
I love
is
going
great.
to the movies. I can't, when people are like, I don't like going to the movies.
I love the movies.
The movies are the best. And one of the best things that's happened to going to the movies is
The seats?
the seats
Dude.
are so good now.
So good.
And you have to buy them in advance. And that
Yes.
has changed
The game.
Changed the game.
It's because then you don't get people that are just like walking in, like everybody knows where they're going. They're
Yeah.
sitting down. I feel like all the people that were annoying in movies just don't go to movies anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like movies just used to be a thing that people do because they're like, oh, it's where a lot of people hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And so they want to go to movies and they wouldn't care about the movie. So they'd be an asshole in the
Yeah.
theater. But now the people that are going to see movies are ones that just want to watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best.
Yeah, those are great.
Better.
I had a bad movie going experience in the somewhat recent past when I went and saw Hereditary.
Yeah.
I went and saw Hereditary. There's some fucking dicks
Really?
in that theater. Yeah, that was the last bad experience I had at a movie theater, though.
But that was like probably, 2018?
2018, 2017, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what you
And I prefer, here's a hot take. I was actually talking about this with our comic friend Riley.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer Hereditary to Midsummer.
I agree too.
I've never
yeah,
seen
I mean,
either
I
of
like
them.
both, but they're very different tones.
Yeah.
To me, it's hard for me to like
Same
compare
film,
those.
same director, but
Yeah.
I never saw either of them. I tried to watch Midsummer and I was just like, boy, I don't care if anybody dies.
Yeah, yeah, they all are kind of fucks.
I
Yeah.
just I don't like anybody. I don't
Yeah.
care.
So
and
many-
then with Hereditary, I just like I kind of hurt like the slow burn to like I'm not a horror guy.
yeah, I'm not
Okay.
really either.
Oh no, I
But
yeah, I love
there's
it.
something about Ari Aster. And the other
Fucking
guy
weird.
that did the witch, the Vavitch. I forget what his name is. But it's different. It's more Lynchian. It's more like
But I
not
don't
a
like
lot of-
Lynch either.
Oh, you don't like Lynch?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Lynch.
I kind of like I don't need all this fucking symbolism and shit. Just tell me a story.
Have you seen? I'm gonna get the name wrong. Something about it's the short that he did. Was it Ari? Was it
the
Ari that
one
did
where-
the?
Oh, there's something about the
There's
Johnsons.
the volcanoes. Oh no.
What is it? Is it Johnson's?
There's something, the strange thing about the Johnsons, I think, where it's the son has been forcefully having sex with his own dad for years.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. You know who? You know
Yeah, that is
who?
Ari
You know who
Aster. That is
told?
Ari
You know
Aster,
who
yeah.
told me about that movie? Riley told me about that movie. Riley
fucked
just
up.
keeps getting brought up throughout this
Yeah.
entire episode. Okay, so there's a funny thing about that movie. I was hanging out at Brian and Brett's house, and
This is Brian
Sternick and Brett Thomas.
Brett Thomas. Yeah.
They were roommates for a long time. Me and Riley came over and we were just hanging out. And Riley was like, "You guys need to watch this movie." And then Brett watched that movie. And Brett does two things whenever I see Brett Thomas. Brett, Trojan horses, there's something about the Johnsons joke into the conversation. And I don't know if I should say this one out loud, but I'll tell you guys off the air. But he does another thing. We'll do a game of telephone.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, what?
You can say that.
Out after what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
This comes out on Thursday.
What?
There'll be two more. There'll
Maybe two more before then? Is that what you're about to say?
I mean, no in America.
Yeah. I know, I just got a
but that's like the OG
and I'm like,
one.
can't post.
Yeah.
So what he said is
Yeah.
he Trojan horses a Columbine joke.
Yeah.
And you know, in the presence of comedians and stuff like that,
There's
like,
nothing off limit. Like, there's
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
nothing off limits. Like there are things we say to each other, Tommy, that you would be like, "Oh my god."
Okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, I'm kind of past that phase.
Are you?
Well, because it's like one of those things where I've made those jokes and I've like definitely get like the dark humor, and I will still go back to it from time to time. But it's that like one-upsmanship of like who can go the darkest
And the dirtiest
and the dirtiest. Like
Yeah.
it's just not. I don't know. It's just not who I am
anymore.
more. Just 'cause I don't know. It's just not me. And it's just again, I don't begrudge anybody for doing it.
Right.
But I'm just like, I get it.
You're not
I
gonna
I
get
feel
it,
like
I
if
get it.
anyone were to do it, it should be comedians.
Yeah.
But it's also like almost to the point where like Ricky Gervais just dropped
Yeah.
a new hour and he like comes out of the gates like, oh, comedians can't talk about anything. Like they still can.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's talked about everything. guess what? Not
He's
canceled.
not canceled, yeah.
No
Yeah.
one's really
But
getting
against everybody's better efforts, though, like people are coming after Chappelle. They come
that's-
after him.
But
They always do that with
But
comedians.
they always come after people. Like that's how people get their agenda heard is by going after people.
Yeah.
It's almost hacked now to the point where it's like if I were to make a joke about like tasty cakes would be like, this is not very progressive as far as we do a lot of good charity. Blah.
You're gonna
like
offend
this.
somebody
Yes, you're
no
always
matter
gonna offend
what.
somebody.
Yeah.
And I think when you bring up that you aren't allowed to offend people, and then you say offensive jokes, I feel like that's a cop out.
I don't know one comic that's afraid of anybody.
Right.
Like I don't know one. I'm not. I don't
Like
write-
everything that I say and don't say is based on what I think is
right.
like my own moral compass,
And then what I
not
would think-
what other people think,
and what I think the audience would think is funny too.
right? Well,
Like-
I don't.
well,
care
to
as
me,
much
it's a
about
Venn diagram.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's a Venn diagram. There's stuff I like. There's stuff they like, and I try to live in the middle there.
Yeah.
Maybe lean towards me a little bit.
Right. What you're trying to do is bring them to your side.
Yeah.
But I also I like trying to make somebody laugh at a like really stupid joke as much as I like trying to make them laugh at an offensive joke. And I've said this before on the podcast. I don't think edgy is being offensive anymore. I think that's played out. I think edgy now is true creativity and delivering something that is thought-provoking and funny at the same time. I think that is
The stuff that
really where you walk the edge.
the stuff that is really, really like game changing right now in comedy is like the Dada absurdism stuff, like of Eric Andre.
I know I fucking don't like that much either.
Yeah, really, but that's the stuff, man. That's the stuff that like
Well,
Gen Z
okay,
is
let me
laughing at.
see. Like Eric Andre, I think he's very funny, but his show doesn't hit. But like then I watch Tim Robinson and his sketch show,
Yeah.
and that is wildly crazy
Yeah.
absurdism.
Did you see?
and
the
I
new,
love it.
Did you see the new Kids in the Hall season?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Is
But
it good?
I watched like half of it. It's very funny.
That's cool. I hear
Yeah.
that there's one sketch on there that's unbelievably vulgar.
I mean,
That's
there's
like
just-
so funny.
I don't know, like everything that I've seen. There's a lot of dick.
Oh,
They
yeah.
show their dicks a lot.
That's
They've like, and not like other like extra like the kids in the halls. The kids in the hall, you can see their dicks.
That's awesome.
And they're just like, yeah, here we go.
This is off subject, but do you guys watch Love, Death, and Robots?
I watched the
what
first
that is.
season.
Okay,
They
then
just had a new one, right?
yes. Oh my god, it's so good. Please watch it. It's an anthology, so you don't need to like watch them in order. They're not
Yeah.
like related or anything, but every episode is a different. If you like animation specifically,
animation.
every episode is directed by somebody different, so the animation's completely different.
That's cool.
And it's kind of like a Black Mirror-esque like future dystopian. Yeah.
I like Black
Yeah.
Mirror.
Do you?
I
It's
do.
love.
Is it Love, Death, and Robots, or is it Death, Love?
Death
I think it's
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever it is, it's a
Quest, Love,
crazy
and
show.
Robots.
This
Yeah.
this season was like insanely dark. It was less than like 2 hours, I think, to watch the whole season.
Yeah, because they're not even super long.
Yeah, they're like 15
minutes.
There's
yeah.
a couple even 10-minute episodes. The first episode was like light and kind of funny. It's kind of a jab at like Elon Musk type things, but then everything else super fucking dark. It's so good though, so good.
Yeah, I'll dig into that. The first season was very good. I did when I was still doing Flicks and Bill. I did a Flicks and Bill on that with Cody Cooper.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's so good.
Has Raj reached out? Can you text him and see where he's at? Because my phone's in. My phone's recording us.
It's working.
So yeah, I'm pretty like when it comes to good comedy. So here's an example. So I watched Ricky Gervais's special, and like I laughed. Like there's some very funny jokes in there, and I know that like when he's talking about trans people, like I hear the joke. Oh, okay, yeah, you now you got one.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have a trans joke and try and upset people. Don't care about that. But just like he comes out of the gates like, oh, comedians, we're not supposed to offend people anymore, but I'm going to. Like, I'm sick of it being that meta. Just
Just do it.
just
don't even
just
mention
jump
it.
into your jokes.
Yeah.
You don't have to try and qualify them. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it
sick
does
of.
sound forceful.
Also,
Like,
too,
yeah.
there's like 1,000 jokes you can make about, and this isn't me. Like, I happen to find Ricky Gervais to be a brilliant writer. I think he's a brilliant writer. But there's a million jokes you can make about the trans community and transitioning and not upset the trans community. Like, there's
But
a million.
that's not what they want to do.
I know.
They want to.
They're
That's weird to me.
Because it's honestly, in my opinion, not about the jokes, but it's about publicity. They know that if they make those jokes, then people are going to be like, oh, he said something transphobic. And people are like, oh, he said something transphobic. I got to go see what he said.
Right.
And some people will be like, oh, I didn't like that. And some people will be like, I think that was that bad. And it's honestly just marketing at this point.
Yeah, I could
so-
see that for sure.
Then I saw Tom Segura live a few months ago, and he was saying wildly inappropriate things. I don't want to burn his material, but I'll just say, but I understand in the forum that he's presenting these things, they are not real. They're jokes. And so I can hear those things, even though they are so terrible.
Yeah.
It's jokes, and he didn't go, oh, I know you're not supposed to say that. Like, he just presented them, and I appreciated that. Not bringing up cancel culture or people trying to like be upset. He was just telling stories that were fucking insane.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you do it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't go up there and
I have a good trans joke.
do you want to tell it right now?
It's up to you. I mean,
And, yeah.
it's I find it incredibly cool and inspiring that there's an entire orchestra filled with Siberian trans people.
It's a great joke. Yeah.
That is a good
it's
joke,
But
yeah.
I'm not hurting
It's not
anybody.
offensive.
I'm not
Yeah,
hurting
like
anybody's
it's not.
feelings.
Yeah, I get
Like,
it.
I do have jokes that I have hurt people's feelings with, but I dismiss it as I don't fucking care. I really don't care if I hurt anyone's feelings with my jokes.
And I don't think you should get your feelings hurt by a joke. I think you can just go, oh, I thought that was funny, or I didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I land with it. And I watched the George Carlin documentary over the weekend, and AJ and I were texting about
A little bit about George
Carlin. Whereas, I respect George Carlin. But he was never like a number one guy
Yeah,
for me.
we both came to the conclusion that George Carlin, like, objectively is on the objective stand-up comedy Mount Rushmore.
Right.
But, like...
But not for us, yeah.
Us personally, like...
Well, because I've seen him his stuff bastardized so many times. And the same thing with Richard Pryor for me, where I've seen so many other people do a shitty version of what they've done
Yeah.
that I saw first before because I didn't see either of those guys
Until I
was already doing stand-up comedy.
I think Pryor's the GOAT. I still think he's the GOAT.
He could be,
Yeah.
but he's not my GOAT because I saw so many people go and like basically rip off Richard Pryor trying to do open mics and stuff like that, and I'm like, this isn't that good. And then I watched his stuff and I was like, oh, this is what they were trying to do, but it wrecked Richard Pryor.
See,
for me.
I
That
think
sucks.
Yeah.
I think Richard Pryor is like the most honest artist in American history. We've talked about this on another
Yeah.
episode, but I don't think anybody's come that close to being as vulnerable and open on stage and stand up. I think Louis comes close. In terms of just honesty and just the way they talked about things, like I think Louis came close to that.
But the thing is,
I think
but then you learn about who Louis really is, and you go, oh, so he wasn't actually being that honest.
No, but he was saying shit like that on stage. Like, I mean, he didn't like.
Yeah, but he was saying it from.
He was joking about it.
He was joking
but
about it.
That's as a comic.
But that's not being honest.
But I said he wasn't as honest as Pryor was. I just
Right.
said that's the only one that comes close.
But even Pryor, like, what was he so honest
I mean,
about?
to be able to talk about like just the pain of being raised in a brothel, and I mean, and when you consider the time period, and
yeah, and when you have to do all that,
I mean,
I'll give you that.
There's context that goes into it. Being able to openly admit and joke about catching yourself on fire, freebasing, and admitting like you have all these scars And like
yeah, scars are bad.
no, but I mean it's hard for
Or are they? I don't
it's
know.
hard for people to talk about in their private life, and for him to be able to go up on stage. The fact that he fired a gun at his wife,
Now that's
and like openly talked about like how shitty of a guy he was.
yeah. Okay, I'll give you that.
And I think Chappelle's honest too, but I think Chappelle falls more under the Carlin. I think he's more like Carlin. I think Chappelle.
I would agree, and I would say, prior, he opened the door for confessional comedy.
Yeah,
and what Chappelle's doing now is he's trying to find a nerve and
hit it
and make it funny, which I don't think that's what Carlin was doing as much. But Carlin was saying things that needed to be said, and so that's why I was saying like he's the king of Clapter, and then Clapter got bastardized into you don't have to be funny because Carlin at least made it funny and entertaining.
Well, he actually had takes and legitimate points.
Yeah.
Where people
not just
are
like,
just regurgitating Carlin now.
Or something, yeah.
I mean, like, people are just regurgitating Carlin, and it's kind of, I don't know, like you said, there is an element of that. Like, I like comics that don't really treat it as a confession. My favorite comics are, I mean, outside of Pryor, but I think that he was just so exceptional at it. At confessional, but outside of, like, I just like dudes that are funny.
Yeah.
On stage, like I like the old time. Like if I'm looking back at the old timers, like I think Joan Rivers is hysterical.
Oh, she's incredible.
I think Rodney Dangerfield was hysterical. Yeah. And I say it all the time. I think Woody Allen was funny. Those guys were just like really, really, really funny. Phyllis Diller, like. And then Norm became sort of like the evolution of that.
Right. And I think Norm's special comes out next week.
Oh. Yeah.
But I guess
do you want to watch it together?
He filmed it in his living room. It's not like in front of an audience. It's like, yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
We should watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to watch it together?
I can do that. Tommy, who's your favorite comedian of all time?
I don't
say Bill Squire.
Bill Squire.
Don't say AJ, say Bill.
Who's your second favorite?
AJ.
I told you everybody calls me the Bill Squire.
Oh yeah, the
the runner-up Bill Squire, which is not a great place to be. I'm doing okay, but I could be doing a lot better.
That's funny.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, I'll take a break. Raj should be here any second. Is he here?
He said 1 minute out.
Okay.
And that was 6 minutes ago.
He's probably looking for parking.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back with our guest, Raj Suresh.
On my left, and then her like right in the middle.
Oh no.
And I was like, there was a truck that had its like wheel turned out. So I was like, miss, if you pull forward like 4 feet, I'll be able to get around you.
And she didn't do it.
And she was like, well, you came in the wrong way, and I'm waiting for somebody. And I was like, how do you think he's going to get into your car?
People get so weird and stubborn when they're in their cars. It's very
so
strange.
silly.
It's so silly.
I'm not.
Hey, AJ, could you pass me that glass of
he was
water?
Like, you're in the wrong, sir. And the Uber lady.
He said that to you. You're in the wrong.
Yeah, and I was like, I know that.
I know, but still, you still got to move.
But the only way for us to fix it
like,
is for you to fix my mistake.
Yeah, you're like, I'm admitting
you're
that
like,
I'm wrong.
I understand.
But
I should have done
help.
something.
I was just like, I can try. So you want me to try to reverse out of here now?
Yeah.
It was hard enough to drive in here. Going forward.
That's so awesome.
Well,
Silly.
People are insane.
I hope you didn't tell me you're coming here, did you?
Well, Eric now knows because I had to buzz in.
Well, you buzzed in by dialing 910. You didn't have to.
I did. It called like the wrong guy.
Oh.
It called like a different guy.
Oh. 910?
Eric?
Yeah.
I should have called me. That's
Yeah.
weird.
And then I had
Yeah.
to call Eric. I had to dial 100 and speak to him.
Well, Eric's cool with me. Eric likes me, so
Yeah.
I get
more.
I'll just be
Well,
like,
you were in the wrong, sir.
Yeah.
And then the Uber lady was like, yeah, I wasn't in the wrong. And her passenger came out, and he was the one that was like, yo, just pull forward.
like you can end this
fix this
Yeah.
so
very
quick.
easily.
That's exactly like,
Yeah.
I was like thankful for that guy. Because it's like, okay, so what?
So without that
We're
guy,
at an
like, what are
impasse.
we doing?
I'm stuck here.
So anyway, hey, we're here with Raj Suresh.
Hey.
Comedian and soon to be TV star. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And you're filming a comedy special next week.
Yeah. Give
Give us the details on that right off the bat. Let's plug that.
That's Friday, June 3rd. It's at Playhouse Square. We're still working out final details on it, but I've got the tickets up and they're free. They're at rajdoescomedy.com. And so the show should be like an hour and a half. The show is free. There's booze beforehand and after, and both of those are free.
Yes.
And it's at Transition Studios, which is right in front of the Chandelier at Playhouse Square.
Yeah.
So there's the Starbucks on one corner, the Subway where AJ likes to take shits on the other corner.
Yeah, I do. No, I do. I took a shit in a Subway there.
Yeah, the tip of the triangle.
When you and I went to a meeting down there, and I was just like, I have to go to the bathroom. And the person at Subway was just like, I can't let you in. It's being remodeled. I'm like, fuck. And then I started making a joke, and then he let me in. Yeah. He's just like, I'll let you in.
You were so
Nice.
funny that someone let you shit.
I know. It was great.
That's some funny shit.
So anyway, so we'll do that. Brian Sternick's hosting. Bill, as you know, is opening alongside Mary Santora.
Yeah.
And we'll just have a fun time.
Is Agent Cosmo performing there?
Hell no.
That's a good call. Good call. So yeah, this is a long time coming. You've been doing comedy for what, 10?
8 years or so now. Yeah.
Okay.
8, 9.
And you're very funny, so I'm excited for this. But also, this space is cool. That all is cool. What made you go like, I'm going to do stand-up comedy? Because you are from India.
Yeah.
Went to high school in the Middle
India.
East.
So grew up in the Middle East, high school in India.
Okay, you grew
college
up.
here.
Okay, you grew up in the Middle
Yeah.
East, and then high school in India.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was born in India, moved to the Middle East, back to India, then here. And then since college, I've lived like 5-6 places.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got hammered one day, actually in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Almost right where we got drinks the last time we were down there.
Yeah.
Got hammered with my buddy, and we bumped into a girl on the street. And there's this thing called Springfest. They just have like a bunch of stalls and art
Yeah.
and stuff. And we were like, do you know of anything going on? She's like, yeah, my boyfriend's running an open mic. So we like went to it, and then I got hammered and ended up on stage.
Nice.
And the first time I had no idea like what the light was. So I just thought people were like taking pictures because I was doing so good. And I ended
Were
up
you
doing-
actually doing
you doing
so?
good?
It was fucking terrible. I have the set. Like, I have the set on film.
Do you have, like, tell me a joke.
The first
From-
joke I said was,
This was the first joke of your comedy career.
yeah, I was like, I can't remember if I signed up to do this or my buddy forced my hand, so I feel a lot like Muhammad Ali during the draft. That's the first one. And then everything else is downhill.
And that got a laugh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, because I feel like that's definitely like a joke that most college kids now would not get.
Well, we did a show last night at Oberlin.
Oh, how was that?
That was
Oh, we didn't.
Okay.
yeah, no,
well, tell me about that, because Oberlin can be, I mean, that is an artsy, like, when you talk about, like, liberal arts colleges, that one's top of the list.
Yeah. So they were interesting. What I found interesting was like I had a joke that had a reference to maybe like 9/11 or something.
Yeah.
And then after the show, that joke didn't get a great laugh. So I was like talking to one of them, and they were like, "Yeah, we weren't born during 9/11. Like the big thing for them is like
damn.
Sandy Hook. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
that makes
Different-
sense.
Yeah, they're like really young,
Milestones.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
damn, dude,
Yeah.
like my entire world changed on 9/11. You guys weren't even alive yet.
But also, like, you know what 9/11 is, like, then, like, even if
Yeah.
you are...
No, but that's like somebody fucking making jokes about the Vietnam War when we were kids. It's just like...
it's different.
But I
It's
was
different.
aware of it, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what it was like.
Okay,
There-
fair.
Yeah, the reference list is, and plus a lot of these kids are like 18, 19, 20, 21. So they're still forming ideas about what the world is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's a
And
good
what they
point.
even like and what's like funny and what's
Yeah.
not. So
Well, that's why usually when you do like a college gig, silliness is what we'll get over, and that's why a guy like Dane Cook got so popular, is because he was just pure energy and silly. And so when he was running around the stage, didn't matter what he talked about. It was just so
just
over the
manic.
top. Yeah, and then people were like,
Steve Martin was the same way.
was he?
yeah, Steve Martin
Yeah.
was...
Manic on stage.
Steve Martin was the Dane Cook of the
Yeah,
70s.
but he was... yeah, he was... But Steve Martin was more absurdist.
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absurdist.
It was like watching a cartoon character do
Yeah,
stand-up.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
don't think-
see, I think Dan Cook was more like cool comedy. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of what he brought in, where it's like you're not like telling embarrassing stories about yourself. You're just like man, I went to. Can you believe the way this parking garage sounds? And like you're making a big loud sound. And people are like, that is really loud. Must be funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's stand up, especially starting in Arkansas, is super weird. I'm kind of glad I ended up in Cleveland for that year and a half.
Yeah,
that's probably the time I grew most as a comic.
How did you end up in Cleveland?
I got a job up here.
Okay.
And I was in a relationship at the time, and then ended up living here for a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And then moved to New York. COVID happened, and then somehow circled back up here. Yeah. So yeah.
And now you kind of split time between here and Arkansas.
Yeah, between here and Arkansas. So I'll be here for almost a whole month ahead, maybe a month and a half, depending on how much AJ and I need to do work on this.
Because you're also working on a sitcom right now, or a TV
pilot.
show.
We're working on a pilot, and AJ's directing, so it'll be fun.
And what's that about?
Oh, it's called Stuck. It's about a writer who's going through a messy divorce, and his wife wants a big chunk of his books in the settlement. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't give it to her, she's threatening to call the marriage a green card wedding and invalidate his status in the United States.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
So
intense.
he has to work his way out of that, and then there's some other conundrums that he runs into because she ends up getting a new boyfriend. He gets jealous and crashes his car into that guy's car. And so he ends up having to find a new community of sorts while trying to keep himself in the U.S. And dodge severe jail time.
But he's stuck.
Yeah, he's stuck. And so are all the characters.
That's the
in it.
name.
That's why it's named. Yeah, that's why it's named.
So-
Titular.
Is this isn't autobiographical
No,
though? This is just something you came up with.
Yeah,
But is there shades of you in this?
There's shades of me. I play the character, but
Yeah.
there's probably if you.
But you didn't crash into someone's car. You're not.
Yeah.
You're never in a green card marriage.
Are you
or
going to
something.
say, are you kidding?
No, but I think when we were trying to
We were
build,
saying Tommy needs another boyfriend.
yeah.
How about another husband?
we were
That's
trying to
illegal.
build stakes for the male protagonist. So his name's Ronnie. And for a while we couldn't come up with everyone was like, why would I care about this guy's divorce? And then it clicked, there's more to it at stake, that he might have to leave the US.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually very good writing.
Yeah,
I think that's real
It took
smart.
us AJ and I went back, and we've been beating each other up for months.
I know, but want to know what's crazy is okay. So the oddest writing pair, in the world, probably. If you were just two Cleveland comics who would do a really good job writing with each other, I don't think you'd think me and Raj.
Right.
But me and Raj butt heads.
But I think
really
that's
fucking hard sometimes. But we're polite about it.
I think that's important in creativity because, whenever you watch a biopic about a band or anything like that, in there they have that animosity, they have that creative differences, but what they make together is good. And when they make solo shit, I'm thinking exactly of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah, it's not
so.
Are you saying they're trash individually?
Is
that
Yeah.
Oh, did I just?
Yeah, you did
You
just
kind of
say
did.
that.
Like we both didn't accomplish things on our own.
That's not okay. I was using Bohemian Rhapsody as a but
I'm glad
what
Tommy said it.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
glad
you.
Tommy
Thank you for
said it.
calling me on that. That's not what I
You're
meant.
welcome.
I think you're both very funny, but I think I think if you were just producing this as whatever I say goes.
Right.
It wouldn't be moving in the right direction.
Right.
Whereas because AJ and you are butting heads on certain points, it's making it the best version that it
It's
could
never
be.
gotten to the point where we were yelling at each other, though.
We've spent there's one joke I remember we argued about for almost an hour and a half. It's just one line in the script. I forget
Yeah,
where it was.
I don't
the stuff
remember
about Harita.
Yeah.
At one point, Ronnie's family tries to convince him to date an Indian woman, and he reminds them of an Indian woman they'd hooked him up with before. And his
Yeah.
brother thinks that, he's like, is that the chemical engineer? And Ronnie goes, no, she was a pothead and went to jail for growing her own, but close.
Yeah.
We fought over that.
We fought over that line.
That's
yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think that's a good joke. What was the original joke?
I think it was a matter of cutting the script down, so we have to look for areas to.
Oh,
trim
so
it.
you're
Yeah.
saying should we keep this or
Yeah,
not?
keep or not.
gotcha.
And did we end up keeping that? Is that still?
I
in
don't
there?
think it's in there, but we should
actually
probably
a whole
toss it back
episode.
in.
Yeah. I mean, I got them laughing. Yeah.
Yeah, I say keep that joke. I think it's good.
Oh, okay.
So I'm on whoever's side is that says keep that.
Okay.
But with both of these projects, I think what I'm personally most invested in is even on Stuck. it's Mary and Brett that shine because their characters are written very tightly to them. And then even with
So this is Mary Santora and
Brett
Brett Thomas,
Thomas,
who we mentioned earlier. Brett Thomas is a very funny comedian. He's if you know the Cleveland area, you've probably seen him, like real deadpan, dry kind of guy. He's that way off stage too.
In a way, he's like my descendant on stage. Like he came a little after me, and I see a lot of me and Brett in terms of like the topics and the subject matter.
But Brett's the same.
Off stage as he is on stage.
Like he's
I'm a different guy on stage.
Yeah, Brett's like if Napoleon Dynamite liked Slipknot. Like
That's exactly what it is.
That's such a perfect description.
That's a good way of describing Brett.
So
and then Mary is you know Mary probably.
Yeah. So and then even with the special, the whole point is to have the studio folks view it as a viable investment, and that they can like cookie cutter these and replicate, which is what you see out at like Dry Bar. Comedy Dynamics does a lot of that.
Now Helium's trying to get into that.
Moving into that game. So if the studio can get behind it and they've got the shooters and all the cameras and it's literally in their basement and mine goes well, then the hope is they go, well, who else is on the scene, right? Bill, Mary, AJ, whoever wants to go do stand up.
So are you ready? Are you nervous?
I think I'm more nervous about the logistics. Because Playhouse Square has like a ton.
I think you should not worry about that and just worry about the material. Everything else is going to come together.
Yeah.
Everything, and like that's my best advice to you is like everything's going to come together.
Well, I'm fighting for a stage right now, so we'll see.
They
want me to play it off the sound stage, which is flat.
Well, you know what? I think that's okay.
You think so?
I was telling him the same thing earlier.
Yeah,
I
think
want
that's
them to
okay.
build a stage.
Well, because I know that I saw the theater, and the way that one is set up, it's very one-man show-ish type stage, and if you can make that work. It'll look just fine.
Okay.
It'll look honestly, it might look better.
That's kind of what Sean was pushing for. He's the studio head.
Yeah,
because there's certain shots that they're going to get of you where, like, if they're doing like a profile shot, you're going to be surrounded by the crowd, and that's going to look great.
They're going to be
like if you step
there's
forward
almost
a little
like 30 feet between me and them. If you've ever seen how the Daily Show's filmed,
okay, so then don't fight for a stage. Fight for some floor seating.
Yeah,
that's what you should.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, have them bring that floor seating, or say like, can we light this so that I'm standing amongst the people versus, because that's what they do in a lot of comedy specials. They'll have a little leaf at the front of the stage, so you're out in front of the stage and you're not actually on like the main stage.
Yeah, so I was pushing for that, like a T stage. Like you've seen Chappelle do it. There's like a long stage in the back and then like a square platform underneath. That's kind of what I was pushing for.
I don't think you need the T stage. I think you just need them to light it so that you can travel there and it'll be lit so that you can be seen.
We'll see. Maybe in the round. That might be.
Can it be sat for the round?
I think so.
I love that.
Really?
If they can shoot it that way.
I feel like playing in the round is super hard.
Especially with stand-up.
I always feel like someone.
If you've never done the round before, then don't do it that way.
Right.
But I would say try and get it as deep into the audience as you can, though.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I don't like the round.
No. I don't. I'm not a big fan either.
I don't like seeing a show in the round. I don't like performing.
Unless you're Dane Cook.
Yeah.
Vicious Circle. Was
but I mean, once again, that's a guy that's just all over the fucking place. You're not incredibly high energy.
I don't have enough Velociraptor.
You don't have enough you don't have that many Burger King pickles jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
the pickles.
Pickles.
What was that?
I love Dayton.
There was something on this show about people burping without warning. Was that you doing that?
No, that's
Tommy's the burp.
That's this asshole.
Tommy's
I already
the
got
burper.
mine out today.
You burped. You burped the big one.
Why do you burp?
No,
I mean, everyone burps.
Because the Truly's right here.
Yeah.
Hey, Raj, do you burp?
Burper?
Yeah. No.
We asked the hard-hitting questions.
This is a difficult panel here.
This is tough. We have fucking Larry King.
Fuck off.
So Tommy burped on one episode, and I thought it was funny, and I like cut it into like a short clip, and it
people
drew
are
in to like a lot of people that are like, where's the burps? We need burps.
Oh, jeez.
Burp
Yeah.
in AJ's face like they want.
No, like I have like people on
burps.
Instagram DMing me like, have Tommy burp in your mouth.
Oh God.
I've only gotten like a couple. Like, why aren't they messaging me?
Because it's his dad.
We met AJ's dad.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
we
My
did,
dad. Yeah,
Why is
yeah.
Yeah, I was
everyone
with
met
you.
your dad but me?
They went and did a show in Oklahoma.
We were in Oklahoma
okay,
City.
never met.
And AJ's dad came out, and we like.
That's so nice of
We
him.
saw a dude in the crowd because I was like, AJ, what does he look like? And he's like, oh,
Does he
you'll
look like
know.
AJ?
Yeah,
And
you'll
then-
know. And then you took a picture
I
of
took a
him.
picture of the wrong guy.
And then you sent it to me, and you were like, "Is this your dad?" I'm like, "No." And honestly, he doesn't look like anyone's dad.
No, he was like dressed in like a button down,
like a white shirt and tie.
Yeah.
And I just like that could have
Like yeah, that's a
that
very
could have
Italian
been.
looking.
Were you
AJ's
guys just
dad.
like in like together, kind of like, which one's AJ's dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were doing.
We were like scouting the crowd, and we couldn't find anybody that. So like we were just desperate, and we're like, that's got to be him, right? Because he was also sitting next to a girl that was from Canton, and she
Okay.
like yelled out during my set, and I was like, well, that might make sense that like he's with somebody else from Ohio.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's so weird.
Yeah. That was a fun weekend though.
It was a good time.
We had a good time.
We went through way too much, like a full bottle of tequila in like 3 nights.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
it wasn't good.
It was good. And then, so
Yeah, we were waking up doing the hair of the dog, and then just more hair of the dog all the way through.
and then like for 3 of those days you were working.
Yeah,
like
I
he was doing your
well-
day job.
Well,
or,
yeah,
I mean,
well,
maybe.
I was drinking after hours just so.
Yeah.
But this
people
was in
listening.
Bentonville, right?
Yeah.
Home of Walmart.
Yeah,
And like one day, so like we meet up on Wednesday, do shows there, and then Thursday we get back to Bentonville,
Yeah.
and
I
I
worked in the car. We left
Yeah.
at 6 in the morning.
yeah, I'm driving while he's working, and then what day did I mow your lawn? Was that Friday? I think that was
It
Friday.
was Friday because we made it home by like.
You mowed his lawn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hold on.
How did
you
that
get-
happen?
I
Did
told
you
him
get
not to.
paid?
No,
He said
was like-
something about penance and remembering what it was like.
well, he let me stay at his place for free.
Oh, so you're
So-
like, I'll cut your grass. Let me
That's
cut
such
your
an
grass.
interesting thing.
But it
to
was one of the things where
offer.
it's like, I knew you weren't going to be home for a while. Because he was coming here like a week later, and he's working all day Thursday and all day Friday.
Yeah.
And I was like, it'll take me an hour and a half. I'll get in the sun. I'll get a little exercise. It's not hard to mow a lawn. It's like an auto mower. And
It's got like a little.
yeah, it's got a motor in
accelerator.
it.
Who's mowing your lawn now?
Oh,
No.
I'll call some people.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
have them do
But I
it.
was just like, you know what? Like I went to a museum earlier in the day, and I was like, I'm gonna drink beer and mow his lawn, like do some
What
dad
museum
shit.
did you go to?
The Crystal Bridges
Bridges,
Museum.
What's
What
that?
the fuck is
It's,
that? Crystal
Walton
Bridges?
Tax Shelter, if you're being completely honest.
The
It's
owner of
a
Walmart.
Gorgeous,
Yeah.
like I think it's like 100,000 square feet set on the water. Like
It's
it's called Crystal
insane.
Bridges because they're literally bridges with glass on both sides, and there's a river that runs underneath it.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is in Bentonville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they've got like everything from Yo-Yo Kasuma. They had a Picasso, I think. They've had Andy Warhol and a couple other pieces. So
Yeah, they have crazy.
Big
It's a
collection.
great art museum,
Yeah.
and the building itself is a piece of
It's-
art.
it's very
Like it's because it's built into the like into the land, like so like it's this kind
It
of like
floats on top
valley with a river in it, and it's built over that, and so like it was incredible. I had a great time there. I was
That's
there for
cool.
like
Yeah.
2.5 hours, and I didn't even really see everything.
That's
You-
cool.
you could spend a full like day there, and it's free, and it's
I wish I could have gone.
Yeah.
But, like I think Bill saw me where like I was working 9 to 5, coming off doing shows and
Yeah.
then doing that every
and not
day
just
for
shows, doing
4
shows he
days.
produced too, which is
Right.
like another level of stress. So he's trying to help sell tickets and like promote and like it's.
Are you
it's a lot.
are you the king of the Bentonville comedy scene?
There's nobody really. There's not very many people working in that area. You
Yeah.
know. So
So how many comics are there?
in that Metroplex area, like a 30-minute drive of me, I would say maybe like 30,
Wow.
maybe something like that.
I feel like there's only 30 here though.
Nah, there's way more.
There's
think so?
there's
Is
way
there?
more. There's way
but
more.
there's if you think about
There's 30 that go to
are
LVT
here.
every week.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like actively working, the number of Cleveland comics that are either on the road or like doing something all the time. That's
Yeah.
why you don't see them. There's a lot. There's a lot. Of
I think
us.
I can maybe only name 30 though.
Yeah.
I couldn't even name 30, but like
I could
it's
name
a-
30. I think I could name
I maybe
30.
in my like
Does
more
Raj-
active days. I
Does
could.
Raj still count?
Yeah, my comedy.
Does Raj
more.
still count?
Is a Cleveland comic?
Yeah.
This week he does.
This
Yes.
week, you're right. Okay.
Once again, get tickets to his comedy taping.
Yeah.
RajDoesComedy.com.
Yep.
They're free tickets. You get free booze before and after.
Right.
So
As
I
long
can't
as
even think of it.
supplies
And
last.
you get to see Raj, who's hilarious. Brian Sternick, hilarious. Mary and me. Like, it's a great show.
I won't
top to
be
bottom.
there. I won't be doing a set.
So the way
I'm
this is
also
scheduled,
doing a
and I
set.
don't know why the hell we did this way.
Mm-hmm.
We do the special on the 3rd, and then we start shooting stuck the next morning. And
Buddy.
do the 4th through the 7th.
Noon call
Well,
time.
yeah.
You need to be there.
Ugh. I'm gonna show up smelling like booze, which is in line with the character.
It's fine as long as you can act.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I don't want to jinx this, but I'm going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
I feel like when you do something that chaotic and stupid, it ends up working.
Yeah.
Because then
If
you
you're
got
hammered
because
the
then you
whole
got a
time,
good story, or it will be a disaster. But
Still a good
I
story.
feel like the story goes like, yeah, we didn't know it was gonna work. We just I was fucking hungover from my taping my special the night before, and then I had this whole thing.
We
and
just filmed the pilot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I'm just curious to see what AJ is like as a director, like behind the lens.
I think
that'll be
he's
fun.
gonna be just fine.
I haven't directed you before.
And you never.
I don't think I have.
Ever will until you do.
So I do. All right.
I have no problem
it
with
was
you
similar-
directing
It was
me.
similar to when I was directing you at the screen test.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, I mean,
Give us a little like Raj. Could you do like a couple lines and then AJ, you give him like motivation.
I like direct him.
Yeah, well,
just-
AJ like pulled me out of the thing, and he's like, "Hey, you gotta stop drinking." I was drinking wine out of a coffee mug. You know, so.
He was. I mean, he was getting a little worse, and I didn't want to out it in front of
Yeah.
everyone,
He
so
was
I pulled
this
him
is
aside.
objectively your worst take. You gotta stop. I was like, all right, fine.
I was. Yeah.
Well, the fact that you pulled him aside to do that was good.
Does
Yeah, I
that make
wasn't
you
gonna
mad
fucking-
in the moment or no?
No, 'cause
No.
I trust my friends enough to be honest.
And
with
also,
me.
like you got nerves, so you're like having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just
Yeah.
Well,
been
I know,
more
I know.
stressed
Like,
than that.
Yeah.
you gotta direct everyone because I've directed several shorts before, and you gotta direct everyone different. Like we were talking
They're
about
called
this
little
earlier.
people.
I'm sorry, you're
Yeah.
right. We were talking about this earlier today. Like Raj, I can be harder on him because I know he could take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas just like Tommy, I don't know if being hard on you would get the best out of you. I don't think like
I think it depends on the situation.
he's talking about dick.
What?
He's talking about
No, yeah, I don't know. No.
But I think like like a
It's just
video-
straight up like honest and stuff. I'd be fine. But if you're
Yeah.
mean to me like unnecessarily, I would.
I'm not gonna like
cry.
Shelley Duvall anyone. I'm not gonna
I
be
don't
like
think
Kubrick
AJ
and Shelley
No, I
Duvall.
take
No.
I don't think AJ's the type to be like mean. I think you're just, but you be straightforward.
There
But
were
you
a
be
couple of
straightforward.
times. I think there was a couple of times where I was walking a line between being mean and kind of like
You gotta
trying to
be
pull
in
back.
charge, you know.
Yeah, I mean, not like with directing, but there was one night in the recent past where I kind of set fire to the room a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Do tell.
yeah.
No, I wasn't like yelling, but I was just like
Was this
kind
a
of like.
comedy show or was this directing?
No, this was at the screen test
Okay.
Yeah.
where I kind of was just like, you guys.
Yeah, you gotta do better.
I was just like, we got.
Scripts away.
Yeah.
It started to come together once we actually put the scripts away and
you
we
kinda
gave people
got
the
under the gun.
license to flex their lines and just like deliver the line that moves the plot forward, but the rest is kind of up to you.
Yeah. Little curb-esque.
Yeah.
The principal cast, they don't. You guys don't need that much directing.
Right.
Like I feel like out of everybody, I feel like I directed Brett the least.
Well, what's amazing is when I saw him at the casting call, couldn't have gone worse.
Yeah.
Like Lito looked at me like, "Wait, this is the guy."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right." So I pulled Mary into the room and I was like, "Let's just improv a scene." And he started to do way better. And then I don't know what you said to him, but when he came back to the actual table read, he'd done really well with that 15 minutes of coaching.
Yeah, it was. I just know how to talk to. I mean, I directed Brett. Mary, I had her do when we were improving. There was we did a little bit of an improv, but I directed her to do her drunk Mary character, which Mary in the history of comedy does the best drunk
Oh, it's insane.
I've ever seen.
good. And I
Like she
don't
does the
even know
best
shit.
drunk character I've ever seen.
She's like, for someone that was blackout every time she was drunk, the fact that she can recall
Knows
it.
what she has to
yeah,
do. Yeah.
she just gets right into it.
She
Like,
played drunk better than me, and I was
And
actually.
you were actually a little tipsy. But no, like I will say this, and I said this at the thing, and Mary made a joke. There is a natural chemistry between Mary and Raj on camera that's really hard to fake and authenticate.
Right.
Like it does really come off naturally.
Yeah, it was
It's
a fun
wonderful.
scene to shoot.
Yeah.
And it's the real scene that I want to shoot is the final one. I won't ruin it for people, but it's a scene that involves Brett pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And you see the characters that they play undergo a kind of like a transformation in their relationship to each other.
Yeah.
Because they like Brett's character is kind of based on who he is, right? He's what would you call it? Like a grave digger? That's not the right word. Undertaker?
I know that's
No,
what he does.
he's a grave digger.
Yeah.
He's a grave digger. Yeah.
Yeah. So he does that.
But he ain't he ain't sorry.
Breast?
He ain't messing with no broke radio edit.
Yeah. Broke radio edits.
And yeah, and
Kanye
Ronnie's character is
I
like
got it.
more of a
Thank you.
serious type. Just
Yeah.
very alcoholically serious.
I keep saying that the script had heart.
Yeah, I've heard
And-
that.
And I think I figured out what it is.
What?
I think I figured it out what it is. Okay, so you have these characters who are tragic in nature. Like they're kind of
Explain like how without ruining it.
they're
but, like,
broken. And
Because let me. They're
They've
in
all-
anger management.
anger management
Yeah.
class, but they're all ordered to be there.
Yeah.
They're at the lowest they could possibly
Yeah.
go. And it doesn't seem like there's any hope for getting out of the thing. But there's something about being surrounded by people, being on a sinking ship,
Yeah.
surrounded by people who you were forced to be with.
Right.
And out of that, there comes authentic, genuine relationships. And you guys are broken, but in these characters, they're all the jagged edges that complete the other pieces of you.
Right. Yeah.
You all have something that the other one, the three principal characters in here, all have something that the other one covets, right? Like your character, and even you to a degree, you kind of fell in love with. You're not upset that you are losing your wife and you're going through a divorce. You're upset the fact that you realize that you were scammed by the American dream.
Right.
That everything's being taken away from you. That it's a dream because you have to be asleep
That's the Carlin
to do it.
Right?
Mary's conundrum is her character, she dumped everything she had into someone. She gave her heart to somebody
Right.
only to have it be given back.
Right.
And Brett is
At least
hanging
she
out.
got it back.
Right, but it's different. And then Brett's character is holding on to his youth that's going away. But you all recognize something in each other. Like you see you and Brett. Brett looks
Right.
up to you. You and Mary's character, there's, a sort of, you guys are both in the same thing.
An animal magnetism.
It's animal magnetism.
Yeah, and there's a nice interplay between Nick and Francesca, so Mary and Brett's characters too. They have a almost like a big sister vibe, but Brett's the baby of the group, but somehow is also the wisest one there. Like he has this knack of just saying either the most perfectly awkward thing or the most poignant thing.
Well, there's a wisdom in children
Yeah.
that
He's like that in real life.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. And, well, I think that's one of the smart things that you guys did for this is you're drawing on their real attributes
Right.
and then expounding them to fit the characters that they are playing. And I think that's why this is actually a pretty exciting project.
I keep telling AJ we shouldn't be here at all. Like the way this has all come together.
Well,
is-
also you guys got pretty. Can you talk about the producer? Or
Yeah. So like the production outfit. So the way this actually happened is like 3-ish years ago. I'd moved up here. My relationship ended. I was in a new city, not many friends. One of my close friends died from college, and I was just like super depressed.
College killed him?
Yeah, almost. College
and,
dead.
and he's still in fucking debt.
No, that's the one good thing about dying. You know?
Yeah,
So you
you're
have to
not-
pay it back. Yeah.
But so I was like super depressed and on a flight, and I'd like been pounding back like vodka sodas, and popped open my laptop, and I had about 60 to 75% of what the current script is in a Word doc within about 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then we were all set to go film it, and COVID happened.
Yeah.
And now the guy that read that Word document, because I took it literally with me to a party, and I met him and I gave it to him.
Yeah.
He got picked up by the studio, and now we're where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that's in the business and has been
Yeah, so his
produced
name,
some pretty cool stuff.
Lito's
Yeah.
producing stock.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got an interesting crew. I think we have a big crew. I think 25 people on set the first day.
It's pretty
something like
impressive.
that.
It's a lot to pull together.
That's
like when you've told me about this, like I have thought it's very impressive the whole
Yeah,
time.
It's very ragtag.
For one thing, and you've asked me to be a part of it in certain ways, and I'm just spread so thin already that I can't give you the commitment that I would need to without like having to sacrifice other things that I'm working on. So like I don't want you to ever think that I was like, no, I don't believe in this. I was just like I can't be what you needed.
That's where
like
that's
a
where
Mary
Bill
or a
This is
Squire-
how my
Yeah.
past relationship ended.
That's where Bill
Junior.
Squire light comes.
But that's that's exactly that's why I got AJ.
That's what I'm here for. And I'm just glad I could help you take it across the finish line.
Yeah, which we really did. I mean, I was getting my ass kicked. You stayed up to like 3 or 4 a.m. like 5 nights in a row writing this thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, not writing it, just
rewriting.
giving it some polish.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. And one more time, how can people come see your special taping? And I
Sure.
do not want to, like, you. Raj is a fucking great stand-up comedian.
He's really good,
He's very funny. He's got incredible experiences that most people don't have. So his point of view is incredibly creative. Also, the show Stuck is about his rage. He's got a lot of that.
Oh my
but
God.
it doesn't come out in stand-up, but it does come out in like our group text where he gets so mad.
He gets so mad
about-
over silly things.
Listen,
All right,
Raj,
so tell them what this group is.
So
okay.
you send us, me and Bill,
Yes.
just the cringiest things you can find
Yes.
on Instagram.
100%.
but not even like it's
But, like,
it's
it's not
cringy
even-
to us. It's cringy because like the things that get you so worked up
Yeah.
is where they take these moments from like celebrity interviews where it's like Tom Holland and Zendaya and they're having like he's like walking by her and we'll just like look over and they'll like slow it down and put this music and
the
like
caption
in the
is,
captions
he
like
protects her. He loves her so much.
yeah.
Fucking idiot.
And nothing happened. And Raj will send us these things and be like,
God.
"Why the fuck is this?
Why is it a
thing?"
story? I get it. I get what
It's
you're
not-
saying.
it's not- yeah, it's some
Yeah,
of that,
well,
but
yeah.
really what it is we are so ready to hero worship anything
Yeah.
that it makes my blood boil.
Well, no, every
Yeah.
time I see a notification to that group chat,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's Raj's anger machine.
But sometimes Bill and I think are like cringe video aficionados.
Yeah.
I have favorites of mine. I have the
The
alpha guy.
The alpha guy. That's
alpha
like,
guy is so good.
oh my god, have you
seen
seen
this?
this guy?
I don't think
And
so,
He'll,
no,
So
no.
he'll be like, he's like,
It's a trio.
Yeah. So and so, and like he's basically doing like wrestling promos, and then he'd be like, and this is my alpha, and it's just this guy that's like standing behind him in like a black tank top on.
He's missing all his teeth.
Yeah, and he's like, don't mess with us. And then some like
The guy's
frumpy
wife
girl,
pops in.
yeah, and be like, and we both love this woman, and we worship, but it's so cringy, and
It's one of the weirdest forms of. I can't tell what's happening in my
catharsis.
brain because both the pain and pleasure centers are lighting up when I watch those cringe videos. I'm like, this is so bad that it's good.
But you can't stop.
It's
yeah.
a car wreck.
Yeah.
But then I really do get angry at the I saw some
I
shit
just-
about Pete Davidson. He's like holding Kim Kardashian's hand and walking down, and the caption was like, her true bodyguard. It's like, okay, Pete Davidson is not bodyguarding shit.
He's right, yeah.
He's surrounded by 15 fucking people.
yeah. But it gets engagement for people, and that's the thing. Is like,
It works for
He's
you.
so mad. Like I see him seething right now.
It just takes me to like a.
Want to know what's crazy is you and I get pretty raw with each other.
Yeah.
But you've never been like this.
No, this is different because I don't mind arguing. I think I hate like stupidity. It's wanton, deliberate stupidity.
Right.
Because these people in their heart of hearts don't believe that that's actually what love looks like.
Right.
What it is that we give 14-year-olds fucking cell phones and then we're like, hey,
right?
this
There's
is what you think love
it's
is.
total clickbait bullshit.
garbage.
For sure, yeah.
It's so stupid.
Look at his face.
He's so worked up.
Dude, you like went to a different place.
But it's one of those things too where I have to be in the right frame. Like I'm like I don't know if I can watch what Raj sent me right now.
Yeah, there are
Because
times where like
I'm
I just
especially
can't
if it's
do
a
it.
cringe one. Like I have to be in a headspace for cringe stuff, Like the relationship
the
ones.
dancing ones.
Oh, the dancing ones are so bad.
So-
There's this white couple that keep doing like
It's
these
the worst.
Afrobeat dances,
Yeah.
and they don't do them well.
No.
Yeah.
And
No.
they know, and this is what the thing is: they know that fucking combo of that song and them dancing to it works for engagement. So they release the same dance to the same song in different outfits,
Yeah.
over and over and over again. And I look at it and I'm like, how the fuck does this have 1 million views? And the shit I spent hours editing has like 1,000.
Right, but it's so weird because like
Now it's stuck in your algorithm, though.
Yeah.
you might not, if you like just watched it once, you'd be like, oh, that's a cute little thing. But it's like you kind of have to dig into it to
Yeah.
really know that it's just trash.
The bar for what
Oh, I hate that couple
success
too.
in the creative industry
Yeah.
looks like has dropped so. That's what gets me annoyed.
That makes
there's-
sense.
It makes you feel redundant for getting good at your craft. Like
Yeah.
Bill's one of the rare examples of comics that upload clips and they actually go like viral. And like so that is for me how the app should work.
Yeah.
But it's also they don't all like
Yeah.
Or
like
some
on
guy,
TikTok
like, gets
like,
naked,
Yeah.
Right.
covers himself in barbasol. Yeah.
Well, it's also one of those things too where you have to feed the beast so much, and then also they want you to engage with people, and that's the thing that's tough with me because, like, so I uploaded a video, and this is a joke from 2014, and the joke is about the word "bae," and one of the comments on TikTok was like, "Well, bae actually was." AAVE, which is African American Vernacular, and I don't know even what the E stands for, but it's
Entertainment.
something like that.
Enterprises.
And then white people
Appropriated.
appropriated it, like white teenage girls appropriated it and turned it into before everyone else. And I just replied, I'm like, how do you know my daughter's not black? And he's like, I wasn't assuming anything. And I was like, I don't care. I was just making a
Right.
joke.
We saw that with so we were on Bill and I were on the road with Zarna Garg, who is she's like a New York comedy seller, phenomenal. She's been in comedy 4 years, man. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the things that she's describing doing are insane.
It's insane what she's done. She's had a complete like rocket ship to stardom, but hanging out with her, you understand why, because she works her ass off. But also the thing that I thought was most important is she's like, I've been funny for my entire life. I just started
filming
it 4 years ago, and that's why I now have an audience. And I thought that was like, and it was to the point where her kids are like, Mom, you're funny. Put this shit on the internet. And it's worked out really well for her. And she's such a
kids do her TikTok.
sweetheart too.
Yeah, she's very nice.
Yeah.
She's very nice.
Well, we have a road ahead of us, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. One more time, RajDoesComedy.com. Get your tickets for his comedy special taping. I'll be on it. Mary will be on it. Brian Sternick.
I won't.
And
AJ will not.
AJ will not.
I won't be on it.
For this one, maybe you'll be on the next one.
Maybe I'll be on the next
Or
one.
maybe you'll get to film one soon.
Yeah,
So,
maybe. Maybe I'll direct the next one.
And it's free. You get free booze before, free booze after. It's at Playhouse Square, which is a nice area. And so get those tickets. And Raj, anything else you want to plug?
No, thank you guys for having me on. That's pretty much it. But just always remember, Tom Zendaya that's not a real thing that's going to last. So I don't know. I'm still,
He could have said,
not gonna
follow
last.
me, RajDoesComedy.com.
Fuck Tom Holland.
And Raj Does Comedy on Instagram. He's like, no, I just want you to know, Tom and Zendaya is going to fall apart. You fucking children.
You need
all right.
people to know that.
That's all for this episode. AJ, you got anything? You just had a piece go up on
yeah,
movie.
I wrote a piece about the film Sideways on
Yeah.
Movie Web.
I still-
Nice.
I read it,
didn't
but I
open
still haven't
that.
seen the
I saw
movie.
the text. I did
Yeah.
not open it. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Alright.
Life is
Alright.
crazy.
It's all right.
Nope, nothing.
Follow Tommy on OnlyFans at TommyLC.
Yeah.
And then I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
This is the Bill Squire Show.